Chicago 2025, the night was supposed to be like a regular BLACKPINK concert, full of energy, grandiose visuals, and the screams of thousands of fans. But no one was prepared for the unexpected moment that made BLACKPINK's Chicago concert the most iconic night in the history of their world tour. When Rose performed solo in the middle of the concert, it was not only her vocals that left thousands of spectators speechless, but also the appearance of Bruno Mars, the legend of world R&B pop, who came on stage and sang with her live. Yes, really happened. In front of the tens of thousands of fans who packed Grant Park that night, Rose and Bruno Mars created a musical moment that will be remembered for many years. The stage is magnificent, but one spotlight for Rose. Since the beginning of the concert, the energy of the audience has been rising. BLACKPINK performed a series of their hits such as How You Like That, Kill This Love, and Shut Down, met with overwhelming enthusiasm from the Blinks. But when the show entered the solo segment, all the spotlight was on Park Cha-young, aka Rose. Rose appeared dressed in an elegant flowing satin white dress, with dim lighting and only one spotlight on her. He carries an acoustic guitar, and the fans know that this is going to be one emotional performance. Rose started with his own song, Gone, then continued with On the Ground. Both songs are performed with a new arrangement, more jazzy and soulful, as if giving a hint of the next surprise. And when the soft notes of the song Versace on the Floor began to sound, the audience was stunned. Are you going to sing Bruno Mars? But the moment that made the world stop spinning was when Bruno Mars himself went on stage. Bruno Mars appears. The audience screams hysterically. In the middle of the silent and emotional stage, a male voice could be heard singing the chorus of the song. Camera immediately focused on the right side of the stage, and it was there that Bruno Mars appeared from behind the stage with a microphone in hand, dressed in an elegant black suit and his signature glasses. Screams echoed. Many onlookers stood, crying, hugging each other in disbelief. Rose, who also looked surprised, had covered her mouth with her hand and laughed out loud, before Bruno approached her and sang the next verse together. The duet of Rose and Bruno Mars performing Versace on the Floor live was the biggest surprise of the night. Rose's soft, emotional vocals blend perfectly with Bruno Mars' soulful voice. They sang side by side, smiled at each other, and the chemistry of the two was truly mesmerizing. Their performance was not just an ordinary stage collaboration, it was a magical performance that united two world stars in one amazing harmony. Reactions of fans and other artists. The Blinks present immediately said that this moment felt like a dream. A fan from Toronto, Jasmine, who flew directly to Chicago, said, "I thought I was going to faint. I love Rose, and Bruno is my childhood idol. See them together, it feels like the universe is merging." Several artists and singers reacted on social media. Halsey wrote on Instagram story, "Rose and Bruno Mars? Help me, it's too beautiful." While Big Bang's Taeyong, who is known to be close to Rose and has also collaborated with him, wrote, "You guys are amazing. Duet dreams come true." Bruno Mars. Rose is a diamond. In a backstage interview conducted after the concert, Bruno Mars was asked by reporters about his surprise appearance. He smiled broadly and answered, "Rose and I have been talking about music for a long time. I always believed that she was a diamond. When I found out BLACKPINK was going to a concert in Chicago, I knew I had to attend. And I think that's my best decision this year." Rose himself seemed unable to stop smiling during the interview. "I still can't believe this was real. I've been fucking Bruno since I was in high school. Can you sing with him? It was my childhood dream come true. Will there be an official collaboration?" The big question after this concert is, will there be an official collaboration between Rose and Bruno Mars? Although there has been no official statement, a source from BLACKPINK's agency, YG Entertainment, said that discussions between Rose and Bruno Mars have been underway since early 2025 for a cross-country music project. If that's true, then the Chicago concert could be just the beginning of an era of great collaboration between two of the biggest names in world music. The fans are now placing high hopes on a duet single, maybe even a collaborative mini-album. Rose's best performance on a world tour? concert in Chicago is now labeled by many media and fans as one of Rosé's best performances throughout her career. She not only sings perfectly, but also shows artistic maturity, confidence, and world-class stage quality. His presence on stage literally bewitched the audience. One music observer from NME wrote, "Rose is no longer just an idol. He has grown into a real musician." And her duet with Bruno Mars is her official endorsement as one of the most influential vocalists of the current generation. Surprising duet. BLACKPINK's Rose joins Bruno Mars at Chicago concert. Special version tonight? Rose began her performance with her famous solo song, On the Ground. His voice was soft, full of emotion, and bewitched the tens of thousands of spectators in the open area. However, when the song ended, he did not immediately leave the stage. "With a sigh but a smile that remained awake," Rose said to the audience. "Chicago, you guys were amazing tonight. But I have a special surprise for all of you. For the first time ever, I'm going to be performing a song by an artist I really admire. And even more special, he's here tonight." The atmosphere immediately exploded. The audience looked at each other, trying to guess who the star meant Rose. However, no one was really ready when the spotlight suddenly turned to the side of the stage, and there was Bruno Mars. Bruno Mars goes on stage, the audience is in uproar. When Bruno Mars stepped onto the center stage in his signature maroon suit and sunglasses, the audience was completely hysterical. The sound of screaming almost covered the opening music of the song Talking to the Moon, Bruno's legendary song that turned out to be performed with Rose. They looked at each other, and then sang verse after verse in perfect harmony. Rose brought the opening part, while Bruno followed with his typical verse. When the two sing together in the chorus, the moment feels magical. Not a few were crying at the sight of this emotional duet. Rosé's soft, soulful vocals combined with the power of Bruno Mars' soulful voice create a deeply moving atmosphere. In fact, the fans who watched through the live streaming broadcast said that they felt the thrill of emotions up to the house. Unexpected chemistry. The most surprising thing is that the chemistry between Rose and Bruno Mars is so natural. They not only sing but also interact with each other with gestures full of respect and admiration. Rose looked at Bruno several times with a smile, while Bruno seemed to enjoy the appearance with Rose. At the end of the song, Bruno hugs Rose saying, "You're incredible, Rose. Thank you for having me here tonight. This was special." Rose was seen almost crying and replied with, "This is a dream come true for me. Thank you so much, Bruno." The moment was met with incredible cheers from the audience. Concert cameras even caught many fans shedding tears, holding their chests and recording every second with trembling hands. World reaction, trending across social media. Didn't take long, the keywords Rose x Bruno Mars, Chicago BLACKPINK concert, and Talking to the Moon live immediately became a global trending topic on various social media platforms such as Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, to Weibo. Footage of their duet was shared millions of times in just a matter of hours. BLACKPINK's official account uploaded a cut of the duet video with the caption, "A night we'll never forget. Thank you, Bruno Mars. Thank you, Chicago." Bruno Mars wrote, "Much love to Rose and BLACKPINK. That was fire." Artists and musicians also commented. Troye Sivan wrote, "Rose and Bruno? My heart can't take it, loudly crying face." While the singer her wrote, "Vocals, emotions, perfection, secret preparation behind the scenes." According to exclusive reports from local Korean and American media, this collaboration had been planned in secret since a few months before. Bruno Mars, who was in America for a private tour, personally received an invitation from Rose, who has been a big fan since he was a teenager.